Hey guys, I'm Dr. Cherie,
And I'm Eugene Pope.
and we're with Green Door. Why are you wearing a mask, dare I ask?
Well, because it's COVID-19 and we're told we got to wear masks when we go out.
We are inside, and we're in a confined space with
Yeah.
no one else. We are, properly socially
And-
distancing.
And it's a webinar.
That too.
So I don't really need the mask.
Not really.
Wow. I don't know why they told me to wear a mask then today. But anyway.
We
Yeah.
can't cover up that beautiful punum, Let's,
Well, right now we're still on lockdown. If you're watching this, it's because we're still under kind of a shelter in place. In some states it's worse and more than
Yeah.
others, et cetera, et cetera. But on webinars, you don't need a mask. And obviously, my point in this is really body language. That's our topic today, is body
Yeah.
language in the webinar.
Did you notice how when he had the mask on, I was kind of like, stay away.
Well, when you think of body language, you're not usually associating body language with being on a webinar, because you're on a webinar, you're usually sitting down, but it is important.
It is.
Body language and tonality, it's how people receive your message. Here's some statistics. 55% of your message that people receive is communicated through body language. 33% or about is tonality, how you say it, and 12 to 13% is the spoken word. So even on a webinar, body language and tonality are so important.
Very, very important. Yeah, no. And even things that you don't think are necessarily communicating anything. Like, one thing I hate. I was a teaching assistant in grad school, or giving presentations. The worst thing is like,
Oh
yeah, basically, if you have to have your hand like here and then to hold your head up, obviously you've lost them somewhere, or
Yeah.
they're just that rude.
yeah.
They could be. They could just be that rude.
Yeah, regardless if the host lost you, that is just being rude and disingenuous.
Mhm.
What is the message you're giving back? You don't know who could be watching that webinar. There could be somebody on there that is
Right.
important to you. Maybe not now,
Right.
maybe later.
Exactly, and especially if it's like a work related issue,
Yeah.
and your boss, don't be fooled. Like, your boss, your HR manager, you might not even know they're on there. They might be incognito mode. They might be, they might have their mic muted, they might have their video muted, off. You won't know. You won't really realize they're there, and they are going through that top little thing, and they're going through each and every one,
Yep.
and they're making sure that everyone's paying attention, that they're engaged. Or what if you have a promotion coming up, or an evaluation coming up?
Yeah.
And then it can be like, well, Eugene, you looked really bored and disengaged. So, this is a really big, important thing, especially post-COVID. So why should we promote you? Why should we keep you on?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the little things, and especially right now, everyone's got to keep their P&L sheet in check. So you don't want to give them any excuse to let you go.
Yeah. I had a supervisor years ago said to me, in the context of work relations and people you work for, is be careful the cockroach you step on. They just might be your boss one day.
They also might come back to bite you.
Yeah. So you don't know, and what you don't know, you don't want to take a chance on. So
Right.
have positive, open, engaging body language, even on a webinar.
Yeah. Even subconsciously,
Yeah.
like with my arms crossed.
It's
It
closed
gives me
body language.
right. It gives me a completely different vibe. Whereas I just release my arms,
Yep.
I look much more relaxed and much more engaged. Right.
Yeah.
It makes a huge difference. Or versus if someone's, I can't stand it. Like if someone's like constantly like this, like touching their face. Like, oh my God, put your hands down. But it also indicates to everyone that you're, one, uncomfortable, and two, you don't know how to handle yourself. Three, or you just have like a weird medical condition, and a lot of people may not, again, you can't discriminate because someone has like a weird tick. But again, you are the door to your store, so give everybody good reasons to do business with you, to engage with you, to hire you, to promote you, because you don't get a second chance. And video lasts a lot longer than a picture.
Yeah, most of these, if not all of these, are recorded, so be aware
Yes.
of that as well. So whatever body language you're projecting, it could be forever.
Yes, exactly. And especially if it's online, even if you don't necessarily have access to it, somebody somewhere does. And those things, what if you run for public office one day?
Yeah.
Those things have an amazing ability to come back.
Yeah, and watch the tonality. If you've got a monotone voice throughout the whole webinar, that's what people are hearing. And guess what? They're not hearing your message. What they're seeing and hearing and taking in is really indifference.
Yes. And, indifference comes across very poorly. very, very poorly. Like we've talked about before on other videos, if you really are that unengaged or you're that bored or you're just in a really bad mood, turn off your video feed. It takes 0.5 seconds.
Yeah.
It's an easy click. And then if you have a come to Jesus moment with yourself, okay, and then you can kind of get back into it too. If not, just stay muted with your video off.
Yep. And use that sparingly, because every time you turn off your video feed, you're disengaging from the group.
People see it, and it's also distracting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because now they're wondering what you're doing. Why'd you turn it off?
Yeah.
So if you have to say, I'll be there in just a minute, just say, excuse me, just a minute.
Yeah, exactly. Or, just send a chat, like, hey guys, I have to step away for a second, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And then people who are, watching that will notice that. And then if something comes back and it happened to be your boss watching, then there's a reason for it, and no one's expecting you to be a perfect human being. Just don't be a crappy one.
Yeah, so we've done a webinar, we got a session on eye contact in a webinar, which is important. So tie that in with this body language, just as important. So eye contact in a webinar, body language in a webinar.
Yeah.
Treat it as if you are there in person, so your message comes across as you intend it to be.
Yes. You are the door to your store, so make sure it's attractive, but also warm and inviting.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe to all our channels on social at What's Behind That, including our YouTube channel. And join us every Thursday morning at 8:30 a.m. behind the green door.
Bye-bye, guys.
All right, bye.